I think we've been solving the wrong problems. When life gets overwhelming, we're told to get more disciplined and get better at handling stress and be more productive and be more organized. But what if we don't need to get better at carrying anything? What if you're carrying things that you were never meant to carry in the first place? I have spent years studying success, wealth, happiness, psychology, and human performance. And you know what? I keep seeing the same thing. We mistake complexity for importance. We mistake exhaustion for ambition. And we mistake tolerating a ridiculous life for success. So hold up. This video is not about telling you to shrink your dreams in any way, shape, or form. I love big dreams. I love money. I love beautiful homes. I love beautiful cars. I love luxury. I love gorgeous travel. I love building things. I love creating things. I love making an impact. This video is about asking better questions. What if we became wildly ambitious about life and made everything else justify the amount of life it asks from us? Said another way, anything that you do needs to get you more of what you want, not less of it. So that means hiring a coach or starting a new strategy or starting a new business or hiring a new person on your team literally needs to get you more of what matters for you without the complexity, without the stress. Okay, so real talk right now. In the online marketing game or in the entrepreneur game, for want of a better phrase, we've accidentally believed that hard work is virtuous. Like the more we work and the more we struggle, and we're taught the hero's journey. And it's an amazing journey. It's very, very, very cool. Every single movie has the hero's journey in it. But the problem with the hero's journey is that it presupposes that we always have to go through the dark night of the soul. We always have to have struggle. We always have to have near burnout. We always have to have stress. We always have to have the darkness before the dawn. And I've really started to think more and more and more about this lately because I don't believe that's true. I've gotten to the point where I'm like, what if it just gets to be easy? What if I don't have to go through all of the years of struggle, the hardship, the pain, the anger, the self-doubt, the guilt, all of the horrible stuff in order to just have life feel yummy? So if we look at the Bible and if we look at all of these stories that we've been brought up with, it's all about, for the most part, struggle. It's all about you have to go through hard times in order to validate the good times. And the flip side of that is what we're actually saying and what we're actually believing as entrepreneurs is, unless I struggle, I don't get to feel like my success was worth it. Now, there's a problem with that, of course, because we are pattern creating beings. Just as humans, but we as entrepreneurs, who many of you are ADHD, many of you are autistic, many of you are neurodivergent in some way, shape, or form. And we love patterns a lot more than your stock standard neurotypical person. Did I say that we were neurotypical before? I mean neurodivergent. No, I think I got that right. Anyway, I digress. Before I get to the question that I want to pose to you is that being busy is not proof that you matter. Being busy is not something that anyone is going to give you a medal for, period. And if people are handing out medals for how much you struggled along the way, gosh dang, I would be running as far away from that community as humanly possible. Okay, so the first point that I want to talk about right now is that we've accidentally made hard work virtuous. So I'm about to give you the question that I want you to strongly consider here and run all of your life questions through this. It's going to be a good one. I promise you. Are you ready? If nobody was impressed by how hard you worked, would you still do it anyway? And if you don't get an award for the struggle that you actually have to go through, which you don't, would you do it anyway? Now, a lot of you are saying, of course, Liz, of course, of course, of course. But I do want you to consider right now that you are programmed to do things harder than you need them to be. And that's a shame because your husband, wife, spouse, kids, family, they would love more time with you. And I'm not saying that to put the guilt on you in any way, shape, or form. I'm saying that that's the reality of the situation. Every day that you choose for your life to be harder than it needs to be because of subconscious belief system around how hard you have to work to be worthy of the goal and to get the goal, then that's costing you in enormous ways. When you spend more time with your family, that fills you, right? Now, some people are like, oh, hell no, I need to go out into nature. I don't want to spend time with my family. I spend too much time with my family. Cool. Awesome. But if you weren't working so hard, you get to do more things that you absolutely. Some things worth doing are hard. That is true. And learning new skills that matter to you to get the result is literally part of the process. So I'm not saying you get to sit on your bum and just do nothing. What I am saying is that you need to be very, very, very careful about the toxicity of a belief that is saying that you need to work hard and you need to struggle to get the result, when that is absolutely a lie. It is not true. So mastering hard things that you have to learn in order to get the result that you genuinely want is one thing. But building a life that is hard by design, then calling it success, is not success. And I would hazard a guess that you don't actually want to work as hard as you have been working. And in this beautiful day of AI, chances are that you've been spending a lot of time tinkering with AI and getting used to AI and doing all the AI things, and you're still working as hard as all those times pre-AI. Hence my question. If nobody was impressed by how hard you've been working, would you still do it anyway? Let that sit for a little bit. This is the type of questioning that changes trajectories of your wealth, of your family, your future, your happiness, your marriage. A lot of people are doing life in a way that they actually don't want to be doing it, but they're so swept up in the pattern of the past that they can't even create a new pattern for the future. I hope sincerely that question number 1 has been a wake-up call for those of you that needed it. Okay, so the second point that I want to make, and this is a huge one, please understand this. If you are burnt out in any way, shape, or form, I hope that this is really starting to resonate with you. We have been glorifying this whole idea of needing to increase capacity and optimize and get better, where what we actually probably need to be doing a lot of the time is reducing the load. Here's what I mean. If you're overwhelmed, build more capacity. If you're burnt out, regulate your nervous system. And believe me, I say that a lot. And I actually mean it, but here's the point. Cannot keep up? Improve your productivity. Business feels chaotic? Become a better leader. And sometimes, yes, it's the right work. It's the right thing that we need to be doing to learn, to grow, to develop, and to become. But sometimes the system is the problem. Oh, are you getting this? So we keep asking people to carry 40 kilograms or 40 pounds instead of asking them why they're carrying it in the first place. You don't need a better color-coded calendar for a life that shouldn't look like that in the first place. The question that I want to ask you to help make sure that you are living your life on your terms and you haven't inadvertently tried to optimize more out of life, when the answer to this question will set you free. Here's the question. What am I trying to become better at tolerating that I could simply remove? That could be a person. That could be a system. That could be a process. That could be a product. That could be a morning routine. A lot of the high performers that I serve and I help and I see, a lot of the time they are so wrapped up in this idea of optimization and getting better and then I'm seeing these people put more and more and more on their shoulders. But then if they just ask the question of like, why am I doing this? Which is another way to ask, what am I tolerating that I could just put down? Answering these questions deeply, honestly, will change everything. Okay, in number 3, I want to put a little bit of a caveat in here because we live in a society where we have been programmed that more is always better. More money, more of this, more. And honestly, I still want more of a lot of things in life. I want more travel. I want more freedom. I want more fun. I want more adventure. But here's the thing. More is not always better. More money can be beautiful. More impact can be beautiful. More space, more choice, more freedom. Yeah, these are amazing. Yes, please. But more results doesn't have to mean more of you, more hours from you, more people to manage, more AI systems to create, more content to create. Speaking from someone who is literally currently creating content for you, I'm just doing as much as I can, but I'm not going to blow myself out creating more and more and more and have it cost me my joy, my happiness, my relationships. When you start to have more being the thing that you're always after, you start to have more responsibility that comes with that. And there it is, sitting on your shoulders, and it just gets heavier and heavier. And I know this one because I've done this one, let alone the complexity that's in your head when you're trying to work out everything. The more, the more, the more. I personally want more results with less of my life required to create that, because I want to live as much of my life away from my computer as possible. Now, this doesn't mean doing nothing. It means getting very honest about what you and only you can actually do, and being honest about what can be simpler. And here's the big one, what doesn't need doing at all. So, my dear friend, here is the big question that I suggest you ask yourself and answer honestly. If I wanted double the results with half the effort, what would I have to stop doing? This is where people often find the thing that they have been avoiding. Okay, my friend, we're about to jump into number 4. And I know that I have been dropping some heavy questions on you all right now. When I say heavy, I mean big questions. I mean life questions. I mean the type of questions that if you have the courage, please have the courage. But if you have the courage to do this and ask yourself these questions, it will change your life. And I just want to make sure that this gets out into the world as much as possible. So, by the way, please share this with someone that you know is struggling, with someone that you know is working too hard, with someone that you want to save from themselves. Sincerely, thank you for sharing this message with someone that needs it. Okay, I want to jump into number 4 right now. And many of you are going to fit into this category. And I'm just going to call it what it is. Stop building a life you are always trying to escape from. Question for you. Why is Friday night one of these big nights that everyone seems to be like, whoa, it's Friday night or Fry-yay night, and then there's hump day and all that sort of stuff? And why do people spend an entire year waiting for a holiday? And by the way, this isn't just the normal people. This is entrepreneurs too. And why do successful entrepreneurs often dream about selling the very company that they set up with passion to change the world? There's something very strange about working 5 days to enjoy 2 days. And for entrepreneurs, I know that you're like, yeah, but that's for those people. No, hold up. Most entrepreneurs do not know how to walk away from their business. They do not know how to have time off in any way, shape, or form. So if you're sitting here going, yeah, that's just those people. No, hold up. We're actually worse. Like, entrepreneurs take off less time than other people because we're actually not just working 9 to 5 traditionally. We're working before 9, after 5, and we're working not just 9 to 5 Monday to Friday, but it is Saturday and Sunday as well. And by the way, I'm not standing outside this conversation saying that I've got this absolutely all dialed in and nailed and life is perfect. I've achieved incredible things. I've worked my ass off. I've built, I've chased, I've forced, I've failed. And I got to a point where I genuinely needed to ask myself all of these questions that you have had asked of you so far, including the question I'm about to ask you right now. What am I building that future me might actually want to escape from? That one question has stopped me from starting another company, stopped me from starting another offer, stopped me from building a new funnel, stopped me from hiring people that I shouldn't be hiring. And I want to tell you a very raw, real, and honest story. After making millions and millions and millions of dollars, I got to the point where I asked myself, but at what cost? What did it cost me to create this level of financial success and notoriety? And what I will say right now is that I wish this version of me right now could have gone back sometimes and said to myself, even just 7 years ago, chill out, girl. It's all good. Don't invest in so many things where you're trying to chase things that just aren't for you. Stay consistent. Stay the course. Choose yourself. Don't listen to other people that don't know as much as you. Also, it's okay to not work as hard as all those people that show you that hustle is the only way. Very honestly, I've actually sat on my veranda here in my beautiful house and felt bad for actually having the space and the time and the ease and the flow and the money that meant that I could just sit there, not producing anything, not doing anything, not chasing anything, not forcing anything. And it has been years of me having to reprogram myself to not have to chase, to not have to work, to not have to go after the next thing or find the next answer or do the next thing in order to get ahead or chase or all that sort of stuff. I'll be raw, real, and honest and say that there are days when I still struggle with this belief system that I have to do more and that resting is somehow bad. So even though sometimes I still struggle with this idea of being allowed to rest and being allowed to live life on my terms, I still vividly remember promising my wife after her mother passed away that I wasn't going to build the business the same way, that life was going to look different. And I have done my very, very, very best to build and create a life where business gave more to us than took from us. And business allowed us to live more of our life as opposed to taking from us the things that mattered most, like our connection, our fun, our joy, our harmony, our bliss. I wish someone had told me, or said a different way, I wish I'd realized sooner that I was allowed to build a business that didn't cost me Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, because that's what it was. My brain didn't know how to stop. I didn't know how to stop. And thank goodness that even now when I get those little niggles of, you should be doing something, I can find that moment and go, no, that's okay. I get to choose. I'm actually having today off. I am going to go for a walk. I'm going to go to a cafe. So the main point is that creating a business that you eventually want to escape from is kind of self-destructive, right? And just a quick thing, I'm not saying that you're not going to have to learn things and develop things and, walk through learning curves and all that sort of stuff. I'm simply saying that it's so important for us to look at our business and go, is this what I want to grow? Is this what I want to develop? Is this the thing that I'm so fired up to create? Or is this the thing that I think I should do in order to potentially get to where I think I might want to go? Big difference. Okay. Number 5 here is one that I'm really, really, really excited about. You are allowed to change the rules of your life. Period. This doesn't mean quit everything, sell your business, move somewhere remote. Heck, everyone seems to be doing that right now. And never open your laptop again. It's actually much more practical than that. It's a simple matter of auditing the rules that you've just accepted without ever actually choosing them. I have to work 5 days. I have to reply straight away. I need a bigger team. I should grow the company. I should want to grow the company. I need another qualification. I have to post every single day. I have to keep this commitment because I've started it. I have to earn. Who said? And are they even someone whose life you want to emulate? Okay, so here's the big question that you get to now choose to answer if you want to. If I was designing my life today from scratch, knowing what I know now, what would I refuse to put back into it? The main point is you don't have to treat the rules as facts anymore. You get to choose the rules of your life. And yes, depending upon where you live, there's taxes and all that sort of stuff. So there are some rules that you might have to find your way around or choose different bigger things if you want to, aka moving somewhere to get away from tax. But you actually get to change most of the rules in your life for you to live life more on your terms. I don't want you to get better at surviving your life. I want you to get even better about designing a life that you don't have to survive. You get to have the money and the peace. You get to have both because this life is your life. Create it accordingly. Okay, if this has struck a nerve, please don't respond by downloading another productivity hack. Please don't respond by downloading another productivity planner to make you more productive. Start by looking at where your time is actually going and what rules are underneath it. I created Time Liberation Code because I became obsessed with one question. Where am I spending the one resource I can't make more of? My time. By asking myself this question, I learned where it was disappearing, the patterns sitting underneath it, the belief systems that I had that were holding me back, and I became freer than I'd ever been. Okay, my dear friend, if you are ready for life to not be so hard and get to the bottom of the belief systems that might be actually holding you back, I would take the opportunity right now to jump into the beta program of Time Liberation Code. There's a tool in there for you that you'll get to use and walk through and unearth your personal time lies and your beliefs that have been holding you back for a great many years. I can't wait to assist you to get free and to own your life and live your life on your terms. And by the way, you don't need this in any way, shape, or form. You can just answer all of the questions that I've asked you in this particular video. You don't need Time Liberation Code, but for those of you that are ready to get to the next level and really dive in and unearth and heal all the trauma that might be holding you back, Time Liberation Code is for you. I'll see you over there, or I will see you in the next video.